Hello Year 3 and welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is going to be our first online lesson on computing. So it's going to be a bit strange, but we're going to persevere with it and we're going to learn in our own way. As always, I'm going to share my screen so we can work through the challenges together. I've got some recap questions to start us off that recap on the units we've done so far. So, an algorithm/animation is a set of instructions for a computer program. Well, this one links back to our unit on Scratch where we created our own animations. But which word is the correct word here? An algorithm or animation is a set of instructions for a computer program. Have a think. Now, next one links back to our unit we did at photography at the beginning of the year. How do you take a good photo? What different things do you need to do to make sure it's high quality? And last question is an e-safety question, so keeping yourself safe online. What would you do if you were online and somebody asked for your personal details? For example, if they asked you, where do you live? What would you do? How would you keep yourself safe in that situation? If you want some time to answer those questions, pause the video here. Otherwise, I'm going to provide some possible answers for them. The first one, the word you should have chosen was an algorithm. An algorithm is another word for a set of instructions for a computer program. We created our own algorithms using Scratch last time to create that animation. How do you take a good photo? Some simple ways that we remembered was holding that camera steady, putting the subject of the picture in the middle of the camera, ensuring that the subject is well lit, so the light is shining on them, often from behind the camera, so the light is shining onto the people or the thing that you're taking a picture of from behind you, and making sure that it is not too zoomed in or too zoomed out, so it's an appropriate size within your picture. There are some of the ways that we focused on. You might have had a few more as well. And last one, what would you do if someone asked you for your personal details online? Now for that one, you should not provide them your personal details because you can't be sure who that person is. Even if they say that they're somebody you know, how do you know for sure it is them? And as always, if you're not sure about what's still online, you can always ask a trusted adult. So that could be your parent or your carer, or you could simply turn off that device so that is no longer an issue. But I would still recommend telling your parent or carer if that has happened. Moving on, our new unit that we're going to be doing on computing is a very exciting unit. It is called We Are Presenters, and we're going to be doing our own video performances, and I'll explain a bit more about what that is. So in this unit, we're going to find out how a TV program is made. We're going to practice using a video camera, so those photography skills that we learned will come in useful. We're going to shoot your own video files. We're going to begin editing your video files. We're going to try and get some feedback on your video, and we're going to think about what went well and what you would do differently next time. Some key words that we're going to use throughout this unit, and we're going to focus on our audio, close-up, editing, footage, panning, shooting, video camera, and zooming. Some of those words you might think are familiar already and you might have a good idea of what they mean. But if you're not sure, I'm going to go through them now. So audio is something that produces a sound. So you often hear about an audio track, and that's a track that plays some sound that you might be able to hear. A close-up is a photograph or movie taken at close range. When you edit something, you correct something. We do lots of editing in our writing at school, but you can edit lots of things. For example, a video. Footage, that refers to a film or recording. Panning, when you pan with a camera, that means you move the camera around to keep something in view. Shooting, it doesn't refer to shooting a football in a game of football or something else. It refers to filming something. When you shoot something and you're talking about filming, it literally means to film something. A video camera is a device used to film something. And zooming, when we zoom in, we make the image bigger, and when we zoom out, we make that image smaller. Now we're going to come back to those every lesson for computing, so don't worry if you don't remember them all now, we will come back to them. But as a bit of a practice for that vocabulary, I've given you some sentences and you've got to choose the correct word. So when I take a picture close to an object, it is called a close-up or it is called a footage. Which one do you think is the correct word there? Maybe you can call it out now. Well done if you said close-up. That one was the correct word there. When I take a picture close to an object, it is called a close-up. Audio/zooming is when a sound is produced. So which one is it when a sound is produced? Is that audio or is that zooming? Well done if you said audio. Audio is when a sound is produced. And last one, when I correct something, this is called editing or this is called panning. Which one do you think that one is? Well done if you said editing. When I correct something, this is called editing. As I said, we're going to come back to those words each computing lesson so we all get lots and lots of practice. Now, our learning intention for today is to find out how a TV show is made. And I've got some questions for you to think about. Have you seen any sports on TV recently? Maybe you've watched some football or something else. How do you think these TV shows are made? And how many people do you think are involved with that? Some interesting questions. You can either just have a think about them in your heads, or if you want to jot down your answers on a piece of paper, you can do that too. Now, I've got another video for you to watch here. I'm going to provide a link in the description below for you to watch. And I want you to watch from 1 minute 20 onwards. And from that moment onwards, you'll see lots of credits, either at the bottom of the screen or at the side of the screen. And that shows you who's been helping or whose job it is to produce that TV show. See if you can count how many people are involved, and you'll be surprised how many there is. Once again, that video is in the description below if you want to have a look. I'll give you a clue though, it is a lot of people involved. Now, there's another video, again, I've got for you to watch. Now this one's a bit more of an optional one. This one shows us how sports programs are produced, and it gives us a bit of a behind the scenes. So you get to see a lot of the work that goes in to making a sports program. And you can see about all the different job roles that you can see there as well. Some of them you might have picked up are presenters, commentators, cameramen. They're some of the different roles, job roles that you can see in those. Maybe you've got lots and lots more too. Now, I'm going to move you on to your challenge for today. You are going to plan your own sports TV show. Now, I would recommend keeping this simple. And to help you with that planning process, I've given you some questions that will guide you through it. So first of all, what sport do you want to show? Now, I would think about this. We're likely to be doing this at home. So what sport could you film at home? It could be something as simple as doing some exercises in your living room. It could be kicking a football in your back garden if you're lucky enough to have one. So think about something that you would be able to do at home. Think about how will you film it. Now at school, if we were doing this, we'd be using the iPads. Maybe you don't have an iPad. Maybe you're lucky enough to have one. Maybe you're going to ask one of your parents or carers if you can borrow a digital device that they might have that can allow you to record. Will you have presenters? Maybe you can present as well as being the person who's performing that sport. And will you have commentators? Again, in school, we'd have been doing this in groups. So if you're lucky enough to have some helpers in the house, maybe some siblings that you could enlist to get you, that you could use to help, or maybe parents or carers who could perhaps help you with this. And to answer those questions, there's different ways you could do it. You could simply write down an answer for each of those questions. So for example, what sport do you want to show? The answer could be football. How will you film it? You could say using an iPad. Will you have presenters? Yes, you're going to present before you do the sport. And will you have commentators? Yes, you're going to use your older brother to be a commentator and commentate on what is happening in that video. That would simply be your challenge. But you could also do it by drawing a diagram, showing how you're going to do it, or by using pictures and captions, a bit like when we create a cartoon or a story map. You draw a picture, you write a short sentence underneath to show how you're going to do it. So it's up to you how you plan your own sports TV show. So I'd recommend thinking about those questions as you do. As always, please send your learning into the Year 3 Order or Year 3 CEDA email accounts, and we look forward to having a look at those at some point. I can't wait to see some of your attempts and some of your plans for this. But that'll do for now, and I'll see you next time, you three. Bye.